Oh, you lucky bunch. It's not just going to be one game. It's not just going to be 2 games. It's a triple game start to the season, which is going to be the final season of this Aston Villa save. We're going to be playing in the Community Shield, the most important trophy of them all, the European Super Cup, and the opening day of the Premier League season. I mean, what's not to like? How you doing, everybody, and welcome to part 19 of the Aston Villa save here on FM24. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video where, as I mentioned before, it's a triple header. We've got Manchester City in the Community Shield, we've got Chelsea in the UEFA Super Cup, and then we've got West Ham United in the opening game of the Premier League season. Lovely stuff. And if you're excited to see how we get on in those 3 games and see if we can walk away from this episode with another 2 trophies in the safe, then do not forget to leave a like on the video for me and subscribe so you don't miss any of the nonsense that comes out of this space right here. I am excited. Now, I don't know why I've started on this screen. It's not the one I normally start on, but you can see the 3 fixtures we've got there. But yeah. Wow, let's get into it, shall we? I'm going to try and not hang about too much. Let's try and keep this at a steady pace. Transfer-wise, if you haven't seen the transfer special, go back and watch it, but I will quickly show you everything. Now, so, here's the state of play. If you haven't watched the last episode, I mean, you should have done, but we have signed a number of players. We have signed Benjamin White as a new right-back, £55 million. We've signed Fabio Vieira on loan from Arsenal. We've signed Victor Christiansen as a new right-back at £36.5 million, and Nicolas Gonzalez has come in as a new winger for £68 million. To fund those deals, just double-check anything happened last season. No, it did not. So, to fund those deals, Luca Digne left for 20 million. Moussa Diaby left for 80 million. Josh Feeney is a youngster who went out on loan, and Yuri Tielemans has gone to Galatasaray for £31.5 million. Now, 2 of those transfers we wanted to do, Tielemans and Digne. Diaby we really didn't want to do. However, that was far too much money, and we've ended up with a player who is arguably a better player, which means the squad is looking like this. Now, the only injury we've got at the moment is a disappointing one. It's Elia Wahi, which does mean that we've got Ollie Watkins as our starting striker, which is not a bad thing, but the backup is Amari Kellyman. Probably a bit too soon for him, really, if we're being honest with you. But that is the team that we're going to be using to go against Manchester City in the Community Shield. Let's just get into it, shall we? The squad is Martinez in goal, White, Gomez, Gueye and Miranda in defence, Gray and Kamara in the middle, with Gonzalez, Ramsey and Grealish supporting Watkins up front. I have got no idea how this is going to go. Now, I did play the last friendly, as I usually do. The team looked very, very good in that, but it was against a very small team. So, I always like to have the last friendly be against a team who's like a local team. Like, I can't remember who it was, but it might have been Sutton Coldfield. I don't know. It was a club that's local to the Midlands area that we played, and it was a very, very small team. And that was by design, because I like to end the pre-season with a good victory just to kind of get morale up, rather than risk facing a big team who could batter us and send us into the season with a loss. I don't know. Psychologically, I just feel like having a big win helps us enter the season properly. Well, it's only the Community Shield. Straight away, Manchester City have come out of the blocks, and I mean, Martinez probably made the wrong decision there, but that's not very good. That's not very good at all. But it's fine. It's early on. It's early on that it's one of those freak accidents, but it is Martinez who's made the mistake looking at his rating. Oh boy, that's not a good start. That's not a good start at all. We're going to encourage the boys in a minute just to try and G them up a bit, because we need to get a few hits in, surely. I mean, we're starting off with another Manchester City highlight. That's not ideal at all. Right, Bernardo Silva whips it in. I mean, he doesn't really go anywhere. Nathan Ake gets it back to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva does everything, and it's 2-0 really early on here, and we might be in for a bit of a battering. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, I don't want to watch it again. Oh. They've had 2 shots on goal. Oh, Emi Martinez has had an absolute shocker to start the season. Oh, we can't get anything going at the moment. Match momentum is all in their part. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's made me feel unwell. Oh. well, I'm a bit stunned at how bad that half was, to be honest with you. I'm going to just shout at them. I'm just going to absolutely shout at them because that is about as bad as it could possibly be to start with. It really is. And there's nothing really that I can really do. By the way, Cedric Christiansen was a right back. He's not. He's a left back. Benjamin White's the guy we brought in as the right back. And I mean, no one's covered themselves in glory in that half. I don't really know what we can potentially do. If I'm honest, I don't know. Right, I've had to fiddle around with some tactics. I'm not going to make any personnel changes just yet. Let's try and give ourselves a chance to get back into the game first. I am going to fire the boys up. We are so much better than that first half. That first half was woeful. Genuinely one of the worst halves I've seen us have in this save so far. Oh, Bernardo Silva is running the show. I mean, Martinez ends up making the save there, but, oh, goodness me. We need to get the ball forward. Mark Guay, again, having an absolutely awful performance, which, unfortunately, has become the norm here. Do you know what? We've just won a penalty. We've got a penalty. We've got a chance to get back in. It's a penalty, and I'm assuming it's going to be Ollie Watkins to take. It is Ollie Watkins to take, and Ollie Watkins makes it 2-1. We have a chance in this game. Not much of a chance, but we have a chance in this game. Right, come on then, boys. Oh, we're just giving them deep free kicks, which is just not what we want to be doing. Right, demand more from the boys. Right, Martinez with possession. I've changed where we're distributing the ball as well. We're playing out defence in the middle normally. We're going to go out wide because, again, they're not playing with wingers. So let's go down where they've got less personnel. Of course, Emi Martinez tries to bung it up forward when we don't have a tall target man. Because of course he does. That's really disappointing from Emi Martinez, distribution-wise. And we've now conceded as a direct result of it. I mean, short kicks to fullbacks. Emi, do you want to have a word with yourself? Because that was all on you. At least 2 of the goals are all on you, Emi. I'm tempted to bring Carnesecchi on. And Carnesecchi is really bad. But I'm really tempted to bring Carnesecchi on. Because I'm blaming that goal all on Emi Martinez. Right, I know we've just started to highlight, but I've got to make some changes. Right, Guay. I think Guay's done. We've given him a chance. I know it's only early in the season, but I can't bring myself to give him another chance. He was awful all the way through last season. He shouldn't be. He's a really good player. Especially in Football Manager, he's a really good player. But I've just not seen anything from him. I've just really haven't. I'm going to bring on Fabio Vieira just as a new body in there, just to hopefully get things going. I'm also going to take Ben White off for Christopher Ayer. And I mean, I'll leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that for now. Still got time on our side, but oh goodness me. Right, Ben White with a pass to Nico Gonzalez. Not seen anything really from the new signing Nico yet. Gets it into Gray. Watkins is down injured in the middle, by the way. Over here. Treatment man's coming on. And that's not his official job title, of course. Treatment man is coming on. Jack Grealish is going over here to take the corner. I mean, Ollie is having to go off, so we're currently a man down. I mean, a bit quicker would be nice, lads. A little bit quicker. Right, here we go. Right, Jack Grealish with the corner. I think he's going to go short here. Yeah, he has. Fabio Vieira looking for Pau Torres, but Ederson comes and claims it, which is not what Martinez did. Which is not what Martinez did. We're going to lose the most important trophy in world football today because of Emi Martinez. Right. Oh, our defence has been so poor today. But you know what? I felt I needed to start Mark Guay in a big game just so I was right. Fabio Vieira has an interception here into the injured Ollie Watkins. Back to Gray. Erling Haaland just bowls over him completely. Wins us a deep free kick. But it's probably too far out for us to do anything. We've only had 2 shots. That's so bad. That is so bad. Right. Gonzalez had a shocker. He's coming off for Thomas Lamar. I don't really know what else we can do, to be honest with you. We don't have any more centre-backs to bring on. I can bring Christiansen on, but Miranda hasn't had the worst game of his life, to be honest. Watkins is going to have to come off, and I can only bring on Amari Kellyman. I can only bring on Kellyman, so let's give the youngster a chance, shall we? Right, Miranda into Torres. Torres back to Miranda. Nice little play here. Gets it into Archie Gray. Not really been able to get a foothold on the game. He's been one of our best players, actually. Jack Grealish goes for the worldie, and Ederson has to make the save. Good work there from Jack Grealish. He's had a poor game, but he forces the save there. Right, Thomas Lemar looking to get the ball into the box. Can we pull another goal back? Looking for Pau Torres, couldn't quite find him. Aya into Gomez. Back to Lemar. He's got to be offside. He's got to be offside, yeah. It's disappointing. There's some nice little play there. We looked dangerous there, and then we go and get offside, which is very, very disappointing. I mean, this whole game has been disappointing, quite frankly. We've been absolutely outclassed by them. Absolutely outclassed. Right, well, Jack Grealish has got to come off. I mean, he's had a poor game. And it's going to be John McGinn, I guess. I mean, we're still waiting for the attacking midfielder to sign, Christian Eriksen, to sign on a free. Is it a free or is it? No, it's not a free, but it's very, very little. We're still waiting for that transfer to go through. Right, Archie Gray into Gomez. To Gray. Kellyman. Gets to Lemar. Lemar goes back to Miranda. Chips it to John McGinn. Lovely work there, actually getting it to John McGinn. Just can't get it through them, though. And Archie Gray does well to intercept the ball, though. Right, out to Aya. Aya chipping it, looking for Lemar. Lamar's actually headed it over the keeper. And with 4 minutes in game to go, we've got a goal back. Well, then. Well, then. It's a weird goal, but I don't really care. Right. Fire up. One more goal. We take this to penalties. Can you imagine if we steal this now? Right, Ederson comes and claims it as you would expect him to. I will be stunned if we can do this. I'm already stunned we've got it back to 3-2 with how badly we've been playing. My lights just died. I'm not going to bother doing anything with it. Right, Man City, this is where they turn on the style and go, let's just put them out of their misery. It's going to be the moment, isn't it? Right. Rico Lewis into Haaland. Torres kind of did him. Oh, but he ends up coming through to Phil Foden. And that's all hope we had of rescuing this. Completely gone and done. And it is going to be 4-2 to Manchester City. Very disappointing today. Very disappointing. I mean, if we pull another goal back here, I don't know what to think. I really don't. Right. Gomez out to Miranda. Miranda into John McGinn. John McGinn into Miranda, back to Archie Gray. Archie Gray's going to go for the world. He just hits the roof of the netting. Desperate to try and get the ball in the back of the net. I think Haaland going for the free kick. I mean, I'll tell you what. Fair play to my team. They were down and out, and they haven't known when to die in this game. They really haven't. So I'll give them credit where it's due. I'm disappointed in the defensive aspect of today. However, the fact that we keep coming back is something quite special. Right, Aya, Lemar, Aya, is he going to go for it? He did go for it. I mean, there's a world where that goes 4-3. And I'm just happy with the fact that we've kept fighting. I am happy with the fact that we've kept fighting. I'd like another goal just to make it a bit better, but we might get it here. Fabio Vieira. Well, Vieira was in. To be fair, it's a save from Ederson. So fair play to Fabio Vieira there. Right, Lemar looking for the corner. He's going to go short here. I don't really want him to. No, he doesn't. He looks for Pau Torres. Can't find him. Rico Lewis gets it on the edge of the area. I mean, we've got barely any time left. Rico Lewis has been an absolute god today, and he's really the reason why Man City have won that, other than our own idiocy. I mean, very unhappy about your costing mistake. Ben White was awful. Mark Way was awful. The front three behind the striker were all awful. I'm very disappointed in many aspects of that performance. But it's the league. It's not the League Cup. It's the Community Shield. It is what it is. It would have been nice to win it. I'd have liked to win it. I know I always joke and say, oh, it's the most important trophy in world football. It's obviously not. But I'd have really liked to win that. If I'm honest. I really would have done. Obviously, we haven't. It is what it is. We have to deal with it. And we potentially have to deal with it without our boy, Ollie Watkins. 3 days. He should be fine for Chelsea. He should be fine for Chelsea, but that is a shocking set of performances from a set of players who really are better than that. So we're going to go away and we'll come back for Chelsea and we'll hope that our luck turns around in Europe. Okay, we're back for the game against Chelsea in the European Super Cup, and, well, I'm still not fully over the last game. However, things are occurring. The first one that has occurred is Christian Eriksen is now in. He's not fully fit. He's an older player, yes, but he'll come in and he'll be good veteran cover for the attacking midfield position. And I'm quite comfortable with having him in the squad for what he can bring to it for now. He's a one-season signing only, so he'll do a job for us, and that's all I'm really bothered about. Also, Mark Guehi's done. I've already kind of committed in my head that he's not going to be here anymore, so Yaka Biol is going to be the guy who is our backup defender for this game if we need one. And then we're going to try and move on Guehi. He's on the transfer list. He's had offers. He's targeted by Real Madrid. We've put him up to make a loss. As long as we get him out of the club and have enough money to bring someone else in, that's all I really care about. So this is the 11 we're going to use for the game against Chelsea. It's Martinez again in goal. Ben White, Joe Gomez, Pau Torres and Juan Miranda are in defence. Basically, other than Torres, it's the same defence from last time. We're giving Ben White another chance today. And then we've got Gray and Kamara in the midfield. They didn't do too badly, to be honest with you. And I'm going to give the forward line another chance. It is what it is. We'll have to give them an opportunity. We've only got youngster Richard George on the bench as a striker, though. So if we don't get anything out of Ollie Watkins, who isn't really that fit, then we're in a bit of trouble. But we'll just have to go with it and hope for the best. Oh, boy. Well, I'm still a bit shell-shook with just how bad that last game was. I mean, towards the end of the game, we showed a bit more spirit, a bit more fire, but we took a long time to get there. Now, Chelsea are unquestionably not as good in this save as Manchester City. So we should put up more of a fight against them. But the magic word there is should. I mean, looking at the match momentum to start off with, and the fact we've had the first opportunity, we've started off much better. Maybe we're just kind of using it as motivation from the last game. Hopefully that is the case, but goodness me, the last game was poor. And do you know what? Mudryk has actually fouled Ben White. We've got another penalty. 2 games in a row where we've won a penalty. And it looks like we have an early opportunity to go ahead here in the UEFA Super Cup. I keep going between the UEFA Super Cup and European Super Cup. They're both basically the same thing. And it is down to, I'm going to assume it's Ollie Watkins who's going to be taking it. It is Ollie Watkins who's going to be taking it. And Ollie Watkins puts it past Kepa and makes it 1-0 to Aston Villa. Marvellous. Marvellous. Now we just need to maintain that or add to it because, oh goodness me. I mean, the memory of the last game is still very, very fresh in the mind. We had so many poor performances, but it's good to see us get off to a good start here with that penalty. But again, I'd like to see something from open play more than anything. Penalty's great. It puts us ahead. But let's see us put the ball in the back of the net from open play. Let's see us play some nice football. That'd be quite nice. I'm accepting of the fact that it will get what we'll get in this game, but it would be quite nice to get something along those lines. We are having more opportunities. Chelsea have come back into the game as you would expect them to. Their squad looking like it's finally settling in. Although the fact that with the players they've got, that Trevor Chalobah's still at the heart of their defence is still a bit shocking to me. Right, we have a corner here. Jack Grealish looking for the head of someone, doesn't find anyone. Comes out only as far as Jacob Ramsey though. Jacob Ramsey now into Miranda. Miranda has got a bit of a wander with left foot. Gets it into Gomez. Lovely pass into Nico Gonzalez, and it's his first goal for Aston Villa, Nico. And it is 2-0 on the stroke of half-time in the 45th minute. Lovely pass there from Joe Gomez. Not really something that you'd expect Joe Gomez to be doing, really. I mean, we play him as a centre-back. He can play as a wing-back, so he has got passing range. It's a lovely little pass through to Nico as well. And it is all of a sudden 2-0 on the stroke of half-time. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, not really unhappy with anyone, to be honest with you. I might just have a word with Jacob and maybe Jack as well and just try and get them a little bit more G'd up. Same with Miranda. Let's try and get them a bit more motivated. And let's get into the second half. And let's see if we can do more of the same. I'd quite like us to, but we start actually with Chelsea in possession. Chilwell gets to Colwill, and here they come. Chalobah gets to give forward to Nkunku, who in real life is still out of action with an injury at the moment as I'm recording this. You know, it'll be interesting to see what he is like when he finally gets through. And Gallagher, Conor Gallagher, very unlucky there. Great position, but just couldn't get the finish off. Signs of life there from Chelsea. I'm going to demand more from my boys, because they are coming back into the game. Let's just push on a little bit. Right, Ben White with the throw into Archie Gray. Archie Gray gives it away to Romelu Lukaku, though. And now we've really put ourselves in a bad situation. Chelsea now in possession. A rare mistake from Archie Gray. It is very rare to see him make a mistake like that. But make it he did. And we are very unlucky. Very, very lucky, I should say, that we haven't conceded there. Goodness me. Goodness me. What a mistake that was from Archie. Very uncharacteristic as well. Very, very uncharacteristic. Chelsea really starting to come back into this game. We're going to make some changes just to try and stem the tide. Right, Douglas Luiz is going to come on as the playmaker. Jack and Jacob really haven't done much in this game. So Lamar is going to come on. And I'm going to bring on Christian Eriksen. Let's give him a game. Let's give him a game. I mean, he wants to be a playmaker. I'm not going to play him as a playmaker. I mean, this is his best position now. No, I'm going to leave him as attacking midfielder. Let's try and feed everything through to him. Let's go with those changes. And let's just see whether we can stem the tide a little bit. We've added someone in the midfield. We've added a couple of attacking threats. Let's just see if we can get in there and just get the ball off of them a little bit more. Kamara does really well there, but then so does Lukaku. And Conor Gallagher is through again, and Conor Gallagher has pulled one back. Conor Gallagher has pulled one back for Chelsea. Well then. Well then. And it's a Chelsea free kick, the next highlight. It's looped in, and Nkunku can't get there, but it's only as far as Colwill. Chelsea have got all the momentum in their favour at the moment, and Lukaku has equalised. And we've let it slip. We've let it slip. It's so disappointing from us that we've done that. So disappointing. Goodness me. Right, well, now we need to turn it around. We get a throw-in, though. We get a throw-in. Let's try and get the momentum back on our side. Right, Torres. Looking for options. Goes all the way over to Joe Gomez. Gomez now coming forward, looking for options. Goes to Nico Gonzalez. Lovely touch from Nico. Into Ollie Watkins. And it is 3-2. It might be offside, though. It's being looked at. Oh, God. Please, don't disallow it. Come on now. Let me have this. Let me have this. Oh, we lead again. What a dramatic game this is turning out to be. Gomez with a little run forward, gets it out wide to Nico. Lovely little pass here. I thought it was going to go to Ben White. He ends up not doing that. And we bundle the ball into the back of the net. And it is 3-2. Right, more substitutions coming. We are going to take off Juan Miranda. Christiansen is going to get a game. His first active, proper minutes as an Aston Villa player. I really want to take Ollie Watkins off with his injury, but I don't really have anyone to bring on for him. Also, he's on a hat-trick, so I feel like that would be rude. Gonzalez is tiring as well. But to be honest with you, Gonzalez has been one of our better players, so I'm going to leave it at that. Christiansen rather can come on. Oh, we've got a corner here. Highlight we come back to is a corner. Lamar whipping it in. Looking for the header. Pau Torres can't quite find him, though. It's whipped out. Nicolas Gonzalez gets on the end of it. Into Miranda now. Miranda, who's not long for this game. Looking to just try and hold the ball up here rather than run forward. Gets it back to Kamara, who's going to hold it up nicely. Into Douglas Luiz now, who gets it into Pau. Pau Torres. Forward to Lamar. Lamar can't get on there. Lukaku now leading a breakaway, and it's Noni Madueke with the run forward. We know him from FM22, our West Ham United save. But fortunately, it's not the same Noni Madueke who we had. Chelsea really have turned this around here. Christ almighty. Right, throw-in. It's a poor one from Christiansen, actually. But Christiansen, I tell you what, does really well to get back and win the ball back. Fair play to him. Right, Douglas Luiz to Nico. Into Watkins. Nico gets it back. I thought he'd lost the ball there, and he hasn't quite. Still with Nico. Back to Ben White. Into Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz, he's gone for the worldie, and Kepa had to be really aware there not to let that squeeze past him. What a game this has turned out to be. Right, Christian Eriksen with the corner. Going to whip this in here. Bit of experience. Looking for the header. Pau Torres couldn't find it, but Lamar gets it back. Drives it into the box, but it is cleared out for a throw-in. We really have come back into this game after having that 1-2 counter punch from Chelsea that really, really rocked us. We have come back in. Right, I'm bringing on Christopher Ayer just for a bit more defensive stability. And then Ollie's dead on his feet. I think I have to take Ollie Watkins off. I'm going to bring Richard George on, which... What can I make? I've made 5, that's why. No, so I'm going to leave Ollie Watkins on then. Yeah, I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to. Bring on a little bit more experience in the middle, a bit more energy with Christopher Ayer. A bit more leadership in there as well. Just try and see the game out. But Chelsea have a late throw-in. Reece James. And Nkunku back to James. Over to Nkunku. Nkunku, Aya intercepts though, trying to find Watkins, can't quite find him. We don't get possession there, we just disrupt theirs for a little bit. But Madueke now on the ball, whipping it into Lukaku, who's absolutely stuffed it up. Shades of the 2022 World Cup there for Romelu Lukaku. Really poor from him. Right, Lamar looking for Aya. Aya can't really flick it on. Enzo tries to get it to Madueke, but Ben White heads it back to Pau Torres. Pau Torres now into Gomez. Gomez forward to Nico Gonzalez. Poor touch there. Nico Gonzalez absolutely shattered. And Chelsea now have possession again. They have got a decent amount of time left in added time. Right, Nkunku back to Chalobah. Gives the ball away though. Douglas Luiz into Nico Gonzalez. Nico Gonzalez makes it 4. It's 4-2. And that is surely the UEFA Super Cup settled for Aston Villa. I'm knackered. I'm absolutely knackered. What a game. What an absolute game. Lovely finish from Nico Gonzalez. He arrives in this game properly. And that has got to do it. That has got to do it. It does do it. That is the game. That is the trophy. We win our second European trophy. Okay, Champions League and then the UEFA Super Cup. But still, we win it. And it's Emi Martinez, who I did have a falling out with Emi Martinez. I was going to take the captaincy off of him. I then reneged on it, but he was just unhappy that we'd had the conversation. But he has helped us win there. I mean, he did concede 2 goals, but I'm quite content with leaving him as captain. I'm quite content with having him be the man to lift the trophy. Nice. Very nice indeed. Don't know about you, I'm absolutely knackered after that. Those 2 games have been an exhausting pair of games. My word. What a time to be alive where we win that. Goodness me, we are now officially one of the top English managers. I mean, if we have a look at the Hall of Fame, we're currently 6th in English national managers. I'll take that. I'll take that. Are we on the worldwide list? We're nowhere near, because of course we're not. Why would we? Continental list? No, nowhere near. Nation list? No, nowhere near. It's just the English list. List of nationality English. I mean, I'll take that. 1 league, 2 domestic cups, 3 other trophies. Lovely. Have that, you blot. Have that. I don't want to play another game. I don't want to play another game. I'm absolutely shattered. Right, I'm going to go away, and then in 3 days' time, we'll be back for West Ham. If we don't win that one, I think I am going to go into a corner and cry. So those last 2 games were so mind-bending that, I'm not going to lie, I've taken a few days. In my defence, it has been Christmas. So I'm returning to you post-Christmas with this video. I mean, videos before this will be post-Christmas, but as when I'm recording it, it's the 28th of December. So, yeah, this is the 11 that we're going to be taking into the West Ham United game. Now, I haven't accelerated all the way to it because I want to talk to you about transfers. Now, Marc Guehi has had a bid of £63 million coming from Real Madrid. £60 million up front with £3 million in instalments. I have accepted that because that will mean that we haven't exactly broke even, but the upfront cost will have covered for Marc Guehi. So I'm quite happy with that, if I'm honest. So I'm very content with that as a deal. And that's more than enough to go out there and find a decent central defender. There's 3 I've identified. I've not made an offer for any of them yet. I want to get this over the line first, and then I'll delay it so I can get that deal done. Marco Carnesecchi is on his way out. We actually, I think, have had the bid for it completely confirmed. There's a spoiler of one of the players I'm looking at. Yeah, waiting for confirmation. So, essentially, I am hanging off that until after this game. And what I kind of want as well is for this deal to be done. We're getting Andre Lunin in as a backup goalkeeper. He'll do a fine job for us. He's not going to be spectacular, but I'm quite content with him as a backup. Now, Nico Schlotterbeck is the guy that I have identified to replace Marc Guehi. I'm a huge fan of this guy in FM. However, he will cost a lot of money. Now, £81 million up front would be my preference, but we don't have £81 million to spend on him. So we'd have to use instalments, which where I have been able to have tried to avoid this summer. We might have to break the bank a little bit to get him. Now, there are alternatives that I have looked at. Alternative number 1 is Willian Pacho, who I am still scouting a little bit, I think, but he would be a very, very good player for us. We'd obviously play him as a ball-playing defender. I prefer to be on the left. That's fine. I've got no issue with that at all. But I think he would be very, very good indeed. I mean, his tackling isn't bad. His marking's great. His heading is decent. He's 6'2". He's relatively quick. He's relatively strong. The only thing is I don't like the fact he marks opponents tightly. But he's a bit younger and he's a decent player. Now, he's not the only one I've looked at. There is also this guy who, a bit older, but I'm intrigued by. Edmonds Tapsoba from Bayer Leverkusen. Now, not the quickest in the world. Pace is good, acceleration not so good. He's relatively strong. He's tall, good jumping reach. Heading's not the best, but again, his tallness and his jumping reach means he'll at least meet the ball better than others. Good positioning, work rate's not too bad, but his marking and his tackling are very, very good. Passing's decent and he's got good technique as well. He likes to try and play his way out of trouble and likes to bring the ball out of defence, but he doesn't dive into tackles and he doesn't mark tightly as well, which I'm very happy with. Now, only thing with him is he doesn't have a side preference, so that means actually he'd be decent. Now, both of them are in and around the same price range. I'm prioritising Schlotterbeck first, but I will happily go in for one of these guys if I need to. I think to be honest, I don't know. I feel like either of them would be good. They've both got negatives. I think the negative with this guy is that he's a little bit slower, but that height, I mean, he's not exactly slow, but that height is what really, really draws me in there. If I'm being honest, I really am tempted by him. And then I think we've got 3 really good central defenders and Xhaka Biol. And Xhaka Biol is a very, very good player in general. So we'll see what happens, but that's not what we're here for. What we're here for is the first game of the season against West Ham United. And this is the 11 that we are going to be using. It is Martinez in goal, White, Gomez, Torres and Christiansen in defence, Luiz and Kamara in the middle with Gonzalez, Ramsey and Grealish supporting Watkins up front. Archie Gray didn't play that well last time out. It wasn't terrible, but I'm going to give him a rest and give Douglas Luiz a chance in the midfield. We've kind of sold him in that position now. We're not going to try and do him as an attacking midfielder again. He's going to be a deep line playmaker. No room in the squad for Mark Guehi because I don't want him there. And Elia Wahi is still just a little bit too far away. 5 days away from being fully fit. Not too bad. Right. Deep breath, everybody. First game of the season. Let's do it. I will apologise if there's any pauses, any breaks in the game because I've still got... I'm no longer with cold, but I am with cough. This cough doesn't want to go away. So it does sneak up on me every now and then. So if it does come through, I do apologise if there's any breaks in the play. But it is what it is. We'll work around it. I am intrigued to see how this goes. Obviously, we've had mixed fortunes in the last couple of games. Lost the Community Shield, won the UEFA Super Cup. I think we've got enough about us to beat West... Well, in fact, I know we've got enough about us to beat West Ham. It's just whether we actually do it. Hopefully we do, obviously. Right, ball out, looking for Nico. Didn't find it, but Regulon's header out. Didn't actually do much. It's a poor choice from Nico, actually, there. Trying to go back to Douglas Luiz. And West Ham now, we've needlessly given them possession again. Right, they're passing it around quite riskily there, I would say. But we end up with possession again. Ben White heads it down to Kamara. Kamara out into Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish, who I would like to see a good performance from today, cuts inside, and he does just that. Boubacar Kamara technically gets the assist, but it's our boy Jack Grealish who opens the scoring for us in the 9th minute in the first game of the Premier League season. Get in there, Super Jack Grealish. And temporarily, that puts us top of the table again. Lovely bit of skill there from Jack to get around his man. Cuts inside here between 2 players. And that is just exactly what you want Jack Grealish to be doing. Cutting inside on his right and just burying it in the far bottom corner. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff indeed. More of the same, please, boys. More of the same. That'd be very nice. Why is this set to that? We want this set to Premier League. There we go. That's more like it. In fact, I want the Premier League table. So let's get rid of that and let's change that to League table. There we go. Fortunately, no highlights while I was doing that. But as you can see, as it stands, we would be top of the table. Obviously, it's 1-0. It's first game of the season. Take it with a pinch of salt. There you go. Leeds have scored another goal. So it's no longer going to be that. Right. Looks like Ben White has an injury. Jacob Ramsey with a really heavy touch there as well, which is not ideal. But Ben White with an injury is a bit of a concern. We might have to move things around a little bit to try and cover that. I can't remember if we've got Matty Cash on the bench. If we don't, we do have Joe Gomez who can play there, and we can always bring on Xhaka Biol. I don't really like how well Jared Bowen's done there, and he's gone and equalised. That is a concern, but they've got an injured player down as well. I am going to demand more from the boys because that is a concern to see us just conceding like that. We are away from home, of course. We apparently don't have a great record against West Ham as well, so take that for what it is. Yeah, we've got no Matty Cash, so Joe Gomez will go out wide. Benjamin White will come off for Xhaka Biol, and we'll just have to hope that that will do the job. Right. I'm not a massive fan that we've conceded that goal, if I'm honest, but I'll allow it if we win. I'll allow it if we win. A draw wouldn't be the worst result in the world. However, we're good enough to not have to draw against West Ham United. We've got a good enough squad of players at this point. Still with a good core of the player. I say that. A handful of the players who were here at the start of the save. But, I mean, the improvements that we've made really should be meaning we shouldn't have to worry about that. That's a pull from Christiansen. Christiansen really shouldn't be cutting in and trying that on his weaker foot. I'm assuming it's his weaker foot. Well, yeah, obviously it is his weaker foot. We've definitely taken things into another gear since we've conceded. But unless we put the ball in the back of the net like that, it doesn't matter. But Douglas Luiz assists Xhaka Biol to make it 2-1 on at the stroke of half-time in the 45th minute. And that is more like it. That is definitely more like it. But now we need to stop conceding again. Because we've seen what happens when we score. Sometimes we just switch off a little bit. We've had no possession in this game compared to West Ham, which is a bit of a concern. But I'll take the fact that we lead at half-time. I definitely will. I'm going to say that we need to improve, because we definitely do. Ollie Watkins has had no impact on the game whatsoever. Jacob Ramsey, we haven't seen a lot of, and when we have, it's not been good. So I think we'll leave things at that for now. Yeah, I think we will. I'll just go out there and do it again. Right, demand more. Let's work a little bit harder. I mean, momentum-wise, Dave had the majority of it in the first half when you look at that map. But it looks like we've started things quite well in the second half. But I would quite like to see us get a third goal just to calm ourselves down. I mean, momentum-wise, we're doing a great job. But we've not had a shot for a while, which is a bit concerning. Right. Substitute a clock. Let's have a look and see what we can do. I mean, we haven't got another striker to bring on. That's the only thing. And Joe Gomez is not having a good game. So Christopher Ayer is going to come on instead. Pau Torres is going to have to just man up and deal with it. I could bring Richard George on, but I think Richard George is probably too young for this. But then he scored goals. So do you know what? I'm just going to take a bit of a gamble. Jack Grealish, considering he scored that goal, hasn't really done anything. So the temptation is there. But I'm actually going to bring on Christian Eriksen. And give him some football just to get a bit more up to match level. Should give him a decent chance to kind of work on things. Now, we actually start well. We were going to start things with a highlight with a corner, but obviously that's not the case anymore. Pau Torres I am going to shout at a little bit because I'm really not very happy with him. And I'm also going to tell Christiansen to calm himself down. We have a throw-in. Christopher Ayer with the throw-in, looking for Richard George. Richard George didn't head it on. I mean, if he'd have thought about it a little bit there, the youngster, maybe he could have got on the end of it. We've managed to win the ball back, though, and it is Nico to George. George whips it in, looking for Jack Grealish. Headed out by, I don't know if it's Kufal or Ward-Prowse, but Christiansen floats in, looking for Nico at the back post, who just heads it over. Good opportunity there for us. But Nico is not necessarily the one you want on the end of those chances. Right, final substitution. And I don't really know which one I want to do, to be honest with you. The one I would want to do is Pau Torres. We don't have a centre-back on the pitch, however, who can fill the gap. And we don't have anyone else who can play as right-back for me to move Ayer. So we're going to have to leave Torres there and just cross those fingers. Now, Gonzalez has looked good, but hasn't really played that well. Jack Grealish scored, but hasn't done anything since. But just because of the yellow card, I think we'll bring on Miranda. He's also good at set pieces. Gives us another option there. Let's see if he can just do a job for us at the end of the game. Hopefully he can. I'll take a close 2-1 on the opening day of the season. It doesn't bother me at all. I will demand more from the boys, though. We've been dominant in the second half, which has me a bit worried. Here we go. This is why. Highlight immediately with West Ham on the attack, but we do get the ball back quite quickly. Right, Martinez looking for Eriksen. Eriksen into Grealish. Grealish looking for Nico. Nico on the ball now. Loses possession now, and it's bombed forward, but Biol intercepts. Ayer can't get there, though, and West Ham United have possession again. But Ben Johnson gives it away. Nico looking for options, looking for someone. Gets it into Richard George. And Richard George, unless the flag goes up, which it hasn't done just yet, it is being checked. Richard George might have just scored a Premier League goal for us in the 89th minute. No, he hasn't. Oh, my word. Didn't get disallowed by the linesman. It was a VAR decision. I did think it looked quite tight, if I'm honest. I wondered whether maybe he just pulled himself back. I didn't know whether that defender coming ahead of him happened before or after the pass. It was very close. And we're desperately unlucky that Richard George didn't get a goal at 16 there in the Premier League. I don't know. He has scored for us, but I can't remember if it was Premier League or not. I might have to have a look at that after the game. Right. Thomas Soucek looking for Brereton Diaz now. Brereton Diaz out wide to Johnson. Johnson going to try and cross this in. Is it going to be a late sting in the tail here? Martinez kind of flaps at it, but we do sort of get it away. Douglas Luiz clears it. I'm not overly happy with Martinez's kind of flap at that. Normally he catches those. Is that a sign that maybe he is on the decline? Maybe it is. Right. West Ham United still in possession here. Looking to get an equaliser. Soucek. Oh, it's a Brereton Diaz, and Brereton Diaz just puts it wide. Oh my word. We've not made it easy for ourselves. We've not taken our chances, and we've let them have quite a few. But we do win the game, and that is the most important thing. It's a difficult away fixture. We do get there in the end. Our possession got better. Our passing completion got better. Much better in the second half from us. I'm going to say that one. I'll take that considering we weren't very good. And a win's a win at the end of the day. We start the season off with a victory. We started off with one trophy as well. So I'm quite content with that. Jacobio, what a performance he had out there. Some poor performances there from a couple of the lads though. I mean, Joe Gomez and Pau Torres, not great. Ollie Watkins, not great as well. I mean, the thing is, Mark Guehi had noticeable bad games, whereas these two didn't necessarily have noticeably bad games there. But still, right. Ben White, 3 to 7 days. That's not the end of the world. He actually could be back for the Brighton game, so I'm cool with that. And actually, we will have Elia Wahi, who I will make available for the under-21s for the next game, and let's get him fit. But that is going to be it for today's video. It's a bumper long one, and we did win one trophy, didn't win the other one. However, look at the scores. The scores are kind of mad. Exactly the same score, just reversed. But we will be back for the Champions League at some point. I don't know exactly which game it'll be. It'll be in this kind of period here. Maybe we'll pair it with Man City, try and get some revenge for the Community Shield, or Manchester United. Might come back for one of those. But we're probably going to get through this season a little bit quicker than the last couple. We'll probably go for a game here, go for a game in January, skip ahead to around here, and then do one final one at the end of the season. We'll see what happens. We'll see where the mood takes us. But that's going to be it for today. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to leave a like on the video if you have enjoyed. And don't forget to subscribe. It's completely free to do so. And you will make me a very happy chap. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.